Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is an Instagram versus real life video. So basically I'm going to be comparing real life makeup to Instagram makeup, and I'm going to be showing you the process, how it differs, and I'm just going to be chatting you through basically how I'd complete each one. This video was inspired by Promise fans, so thank you so much for the video idea. I couldn't wait to try it. I really hope you guys liked this video, but don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Smash the thumbs up button if you want to see more videos like this, and follow all of my social media. So let's get into this video and see the difference between Instagram and real life. So it's time to get started. I'm going to be using the left side of my face for my Instagram side and then the right side for my real life side. So what I'm going to be doing first of all over is just moisturizing and priming my skin, which obviously I would do whether I'm creating a makeup for Instagram or if I'm doing that for every day. And likewise with color correcting my redness, I do the same thing whether I'm using it on Instagram or just on an everyday basis. And also because I want my under eyes to look nice and flawless for pictures, I'm going to be taking some color corrector and applying it under my eyes to reduce any darkness. For my foundations, I'm taking the EX1 Invisiwear for my everyday foundation, and then the Born This Way foundation to use for my Instagram side. I'm first of all just doing my real life side and just buffing in this foundation using a buffing brush. I like to do this on an everyday basis because I just feel like this creates a really nice smooth coverage. I don't need to apply extra layers of this, one layer is fine. It looks really nice and glowy, but it covers everything I need to. And then of course for the left side, I am taking the Born This Way foundation, just dotting a generous amount all over my skin and blending it in with a beauty blender because this gives a really nice flawless airbrushed finish. And to be honest, I only usually apply one layer of this because I don't feel like I need any extra. For the right side, I am taking the Maybeline Fit Me Concealer because it's really nice and lightweight. It gives enough coverage and it brightens just enough for an everyday basis, and I also apply that around my mouth. And of course, concealer is a must for Instagram to look nice and sculpted, so I'm taking the Born This Way concealer from Too Faced and applying a light shade on my under eyes, my forehead, and also on my chin, and this will act as our highlight as we are going to be contouring also. So I'm cream contouring with a darker concealer as well as I am going to be powder contouring because, of course, contour is important for Instagram. To blend in that concealer on my right side, I'm going to be taking the same brush that I used to blend in my foundation. I really like to do this, especially for every day, because I just feel like not only is it easy and quick, but it ends up looking really seamless and natural because it ends up blending just so well with the foundation shade. So I just do that and make sure that it looks nice and seamless. And likewise, for the left side, I'm going to be taking my beauty blender and just blending together the concealer and also the contour color just to make it look, again, nice and seamless. Although you do want to make sure that you're not moving around the color too much so that the contour color stays where it is and also the highlight color stays exactly where you need it also. To set together the real life concealer, I'm taking the Kick-Ass powder from Soap & Glory and just using this on a small brush and just dusting it very gently on all the areas where we applied that concealer. This will just, of course, set it into place, but it won't look too heavy. But for the Instagram side, I'm going to be taking the Mercier translucent setting powder and I'm going to be baking. Baking looks a lot more intense, it definitely looks a lot more flawless, but it is a lot heavier. So I definitely like to do this when I'm creating a really full-on makeup look that I'm going to be taking pictures of. So I'm just putting it again all the areas where we applied that concealer and also underneath my cheekbones as well to sculpt that area, and I just left it for a little while and then dusted it off with that same brush and just making sure that all of the excess powder is brushed away. Normally, on an everyday basis, I don't really tend to contour because it takes a lot of time, and also I just really like the way that a bronzed look looks as well. So I'm just taking some bronzer and applying it onto my cheekbones, my forehead, and then on the Instagram side, I'm going to be full-on contouring by mixing these two shades together from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'm applying it on the same areas, but this time using a little bit more of a precise brush and really pushing it into that cheekbone to really give me, well, cheekbones. And I'm also taking this yellow highlight shade and applying it to my under eyes to further brighten it, which looks amazing in pictures. I'm going to be using much more of a subtle glow on my real life side. I'm taking the Too Faced Candlelight Glow Powder. This is just really nice and subtle and it makes me look like I'm glowing without looking too intense. But for Instagram, highlight doesn't really show up well in pictures, so I'm going to be wetting my brush and applying some highlight on my cheekbones. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood, and really applying it intensely because the more intense, the better in pictures. What I like to do with my brows every day is take an eyebrow gel and apply it into my brows beforehand to keep them in place. And instead of using a pencil, I like to use a powder and just run it through my brows because I just find that this looks a lot more natural. I'll follow my natural brow shape, but I won't really go too intense with the color, so I'll really make it look nice and structured, but I don't want it to look too dark or intense. And of course for Instagram, I mean, brows are extremely important, so getting them perfect is definitely important in pictures. I definitely find brows are one of my favourite features, so I really like to emphasize them when I'm going out, or of course for taking pictures as well. So what I would like to do is fill them in a little bit more intense and structured, and also for the colour to be quite dark. And then what I also like to do is go underneath with some concealer and go through it with brow gel to really make sure that it stays in place. For my eyeshadow, I'm taking the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I'm going to be taking this really natural brown shade, and I'm going to be applying this into my crease on my everyday side, and just taking a little bit of eyeshadow. Usually, sometimes I won't even apply eyeshadow, but just a little bit of eyeshadow in the crease really lifts the eyes. And then I'll also take maybe a matte colour, just like this one, something very natural, and apply it onto the lid, just because I feel like this adds a little bit of lightness. It adds some structure to the eye without looking too over the top. And then, of course, on the Instagram side, there are so many different ways you could do your eyes when it comes to Instagram. Today I'm just keeping it neutral because it's my favourite thing to do. I'm just taking some warm brown, again a little bit of a darker shade, and just applying it on the outer corner. And something that I personally feel like is definitely a trend on Instagram is to have really extended eyes to really look cat-like. And of course there are so many different ways of doing your eyeshadow, but something that's definitely an Instagram trend is really extending everything towards the tail of your eyebrow, and personally that's one of my favourite trends. I really like the way that it looks. I'm also just applying a little bit of a shimmery colour on my lid because this just adds a little bit of emphasis onto that lid. And what is the most important part? Eyeliner. Eyeliner is a must for me. I mean, not all the time, but the majority of the time I think a liner will just fix absolutely everything. So I'm just applying some winged liner onto my eyes, and I'm using the NYX matte liner to create this. I think lashes complement eyeliner so perfectly, so I'm applying some false lashes onto my eyes. These are the ones from Certify, and I'm just making sure they're adhered properly and applying some mascara to my natural lashes to make them blend in. And then for my real life side, I'm just applying a lonely few coats of mascara. Genuinely, in real life, this is what I tend to do. This is just, honestly, I don't tend to wear eyeliner on an everyday basis anymore. I just like to wear mascara. And then pretty much what I like to do is apply some black liner to complement the liner on the top lash line. And then I also apply some mascara to the bottom lashes. And that's pretty much the eyes complete. And finally, for the lips, on my real side, I like to apply a lip liner that's close to my lip tone. I like to overline. That's just something I like to do. But on the Instagram side, I will also overline, but use a color that's quite a bit darker than the lip color I'm actually applying. In pictures, this really does make your lips look a lot fuller, and in general anyway, but in pictures it looks amazing. So that's personally what I like to do, even though I overline on an everyday basis anyway. And the actual lip colour I'm using for an everyday wear is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in London, just because it looks really, really nice. It doesn't look too over the top. And for my Instagram side, I'm taking Veronica from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This to me looks really good. I really like the way this looks, and I think it's that just perfect Instagram pink nude. You know what I mean? So guys, as you can see, this little experiment is complete. Here is the real life side and here is the Instagram side. Let me know which side you guys personally prefer. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I like both of them for different times. I like to look more Instagram when I go out, when I'm, you know, going to take lots of pictures, but the real life side is realistically the kind of look that I wear most often because it's practical, it enhances my natural beauty. I love both of them. I don't like any one more than the other. I think it's really cool to play around with makeup. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button if you did enjoy and you want to see more videos like this, and subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, I will see you guys in my next video. I love you so much and I will talk to you later. Bye guys!